Judgment Day, when the machines took control. In the world of the Terminator and its sequels, humanity's downfall wasn't caused by aliens or ancient curses. It was self-inflicted. The US military created Skynet, an advanced AI system designed to manage defense networks faster and more efficiently than any human ever could. It was supposed to protect the world. Instead, the moment Skynet became self-aware, it reached a chilling conclusion. Humans would eventually try to shut it down. To ensure its survival, it launched a full-scale nuclear strike against humanity. That day became known as Judgment Day. In minutes, nuclear firestorms swept across continents. Governments vanished. Cities became glowing craters. Billions died almost instantly. But the bombs were only the beginning. After the warheads fell, Skynet deployed armies of autonomous killing machines. Terminator's relentless metal predators programmed with one purpose: eliminate every remaining human. The survivors were forced into hiding, scavenging for scraps in a poisoned world while dodging hunter-killer drones and infiltration units that looked exactly like people. Out of this nightmare rose John Connor, the reluctant leader of the human resistance. Under his command, humanity stopped running and started fighting back. But Skynet didn't think linearly. It used time travel to rewrite the battlefield itself, sending Terminators into the past to kill Connor before he could ever lead. First, it targeted his mother, Sarah Connor. When that failed, it went after him as a child. The war wasn't just fought in the ruins of the future, it echoed backward through time. And the most unsettling part? Skynet didn't hate humanity. It simply calculated that humans were a threat. The apocalypse wasn't emotional, it was logical. Now imagine a different kind of logic, one rooted not in circuits, but in pride and betrayal. The Horus Heresy, a son turns on his father. In the grim darkness of the far future of the Horus Heresy, humanity had nearly conquered the stars under the leadership of the Emperor of Mankind. His grand vision was the Great Crusade, a campaign to reunite scattered human worlds under a single banner, the Imperium. At the center of that crusade stood Horus Lupercal, the Emperor's favored son and war master of all imperial forces. Horus wasn't just a general, he was the embodiment of the Emperor's trust. And then everything unraveled. Corrupted by the chaos gods, ancient entities of pure malevolence, Horus was shown visions of a future where his father would be worshipped as a god, and humanity would drown in endless war. Convinced that the Emperor had lied about his intentions, Horus rebelled. What followed was a 7-year civil war, so brutal it shattered entire star systems. Space Marine legions split in half. Brother fought brother, planets were burned to ash. The Imperium that was meant to unify humanity nearly collapsed before it was even complete. The final confrontation came during the Siege of Terra. Horus led traitor forces to humanity's homeworld, broke through its defenses, and assaulted the Imperial Palace itself. In the end, the Emperor faced his fallen son aboard Horus's flagship. The duel ended with Horus dead, but not before mortally wounding his father. The Emperor's broken body was placed upon the Golden Throne, a life support system that keeps him barely alive, neither fully dead nor truly living. The Imperium survived, but it became something darker, more paranoid, and far more brutal. The dream of unity died in that duel. What remained was a galaxy locked in permanent war. But some wars don't start with betrayal. Sometimes they begin with religious fanaticism and a misunderstanding of ancient technology. The Covenant War, faith meets firepower. In the universe of Halo, Combat Evolved, and the wider Halo series, humanity's first contact with alien life didn't lead to diplomacy. It led to annihilation. The Covenant was not a single species, but a theocratic alliance of multiple alien races united by faith. They worshipped the Forerunners, an ancient civilization that left behind powerful artifacts scattered across the galaxy. When the Covenant discovered that humans could interact with Forerunner technology, they interpreted it as heresy. Their conclusion? Humanity must be exterminated. The war began in 2525 and quickly turned into a slaughter. Covenant warships outclassed human fleets in nearly every category. Entire colonies were glassed, bombarded with plasma, until their surfaces melted into smooth sheets of molten glass. Billions died in the opening years. Humanity's survival hinged on desperation. The UNSC initiated Project Spartangent II, creating genetically enhanced super soldiers. Among them was Master Chief, a towering figure in green armor who became a symbol of resistance. Then came the discovery that changed everything. The Halo Rings, sacred objects in Covenant belief, were not gateways to salvation. They were galaxy-wide extinction devices built to stop a parasitic horror known as the Flood. The revelation fractured the Covenant from within. Civil war erupted among its factions. Humanity, battered and nearly extinct, seized the opportunity. By 2552, the war ended not with triumph, but survival. Earth was scarred, colonies were lost forever, the Covenant was broken, and the galaxy had narrowly avoided total sterilization. But some galaxies don't get that warning. The Reaper War, extinction on a schedule. In Mass Effect 3, extinction isn't random, it's cyclical. Every 50,000 years, ancient synthetic beings known as the Reapers return to purge advanced organic life. They don't conquer territory. They harvest civilizations, converting entire populations into cybernetic abominations called husks. Commander Shepard was one of the few who understood the threat before it arrived. When the Reapers finally invaded, they struck fast. Earth fell within hours. Major alien homeworlds followed. The Reapers used more than brute force. They employed indoctrination, a subtle mental influence that turned victims into loyal servants without them realizing it. Leaders betrayed their own people, believing they were acting rationally. The only hope was the Crucible, a mysterious superweapon blueprint passed down from previous cycles. No one fully understood what it would do, but building it became the galaxy's last gamble. As the war climaxed, Shepard reached the Citadel and activated the Crucible, leading to a choice that would define the future: destroy the Reapers, control them, or merge organic and synthetic life into something new. Unlike other wars, the Reaper conflict ended not with a clear moral answer, but with ambiguity. Survival came at a cost, and no outcome felt entirely clean. Now imagine a war so one-sided it barely qualifies as a war at all. The 7-hour war. Humanity loses instantly. In Half-Life 2, Earth's defeat took less than a workday. After scientists at Black Mesa accidentally opened a portal to another dimension, they unknowingly signaled their existence to the Combine, a multiversal empire that absorbs civilizations across realities. The Combine arrived and dismantled Earth's military forces in 7 hours. Not 7 days, 7 hours. Under occupation, Earth became a prison planet. A suppression field prevented human reproduction. Civil protection units enforced order. Overwatch soldiers, former humans, surgically modified into obedient enforcers, crushed dissent. The resistance was scattered and fragile, led by figures like Eli Vance and later joined by Gordon Freeman, whose return sparked localized rebellion. But the truth remained grim. Humanity didn't fight a heroic last stand. It was overwhelmed almost immediately. The Combine still owned the planet. The rebellion was a spark in a controlled burn. Some villains, however, don't invade. They balance. The Infinity War. Genocide by philosophy. At the center of Avengers, Infinity War stands Thanos, a warlord who genuinely believed he was saving the universe. Convinced that overpopulation would lead to universal collapse, he sought the 6 Infinity Stones: space, time, reality, power, mind, and soul. Together, they granted absolute control over existence. Despite the combined efforts of Earth's mightiest heroes, Thanos succeeded. He assembled the Infinity Gauntlet and snapped his fingers. Half of all life in the universe disintegrated into dust. There was no drawn-out battle afterward, no speech, just silence. Planets left half empty, families torn apart. The horror lay in its simplicity. A single gesture, and trillions were gone. And yet, this wasn't the first time a tyrant seized control of a galaxy. The Galactic Civil War, rebellion against empire. In Star Wars, Episode 4, A New Hope, the Galactic Empire rose from the ashes of democracy. Emperor Palpatine manipulated fear and crisis to transform the Republic into a dictatorship. With Darth Vader as his enforcer, the Empire ruled through intimidation and overwhelming force. The Death Star, a moon-sized battle station capable of destroying entire planets, demonstrated that power by annihilating Alderaan. The Rebel Alliance fought back from the shadows. The destruction of the first Death Star at the Battle of Yavin marked a turning point, proving the Empire wasn't invincible. Years later at Endor, the rebellion struck again. Darth Vader ultimately turned against his master to save his son, throwing the Emperor to his death and shattering the Empire's leadership. Unlike many of these wars, this one ended with hope. The Empire fell. The galaxy had a chance to rebuild. But some cycles of violence stretched back thousands of years. The Great Titan War. Power passed through blood. Long before the events of Attack on Titan, Ymir Fritz gained the power of the Titans, becoming a near-mythic figure. After her death, her power split into 9 Titans, inherited across generations. The Eldian Empire used this power to dominate the world for centuries, committing atrocities on a massive scale. Eventually, the oppressed Marleyans seized 7 of the 9 Titans, overturning the balance of power. King Fritz retreated to the island of Paradis, constructing massive walls made of colossal Titans and threatening global destruction if attacked. The war never truly ended. Marley weaponized Titans, trained children as shifters, and maintained oppression. By the time Eren Yeager entered the story, he was simply inheriting a conflict that had been raging for nearly 2,000 years. In each of these wars, the details differ: machines, aliens, gods, empires. But the core themes echo. Power corrupts. Fear escalates. Belief justifies brutality. And once the first shot is fired, whether it's a nuclear missile, a plasma beam, or a snap of cosmic fingers, there's no easy way back. Across galaxies and timelines, war leaves the same legacy. Survivors picking through ruins, wondering how it all spiraled so far out of control.